Good morning, everybody. It is 8:30. I am going to give everyone a couple extra minutes to get here in case they're running a couple minutes late. But while everyone is coming in, I am putting the a link that we made to sign in to today's session, and I have shortened it so that you might be able to just share it or remember it without the link, but it's bit.ly/ all lowercase CMS Wednesday PD. And this link will actually stay the same for each session that you go to on Wednesdays with the digital learning team. And so you can sign in there, although you might hold off on 1 second. I don't know if we updated. No, we didn't update it. Give me 1 second to do that. You might close out your tab that you're on, and we'll get it updated for you. Sorry about that.
Stephen,
Yes.
when we click on these and go to them, because we did that last week, is a record being kept somewhere, or do we get a certificate, or do we print this off?
Yeah, we are keeping the record and then sending it to the principals at the end of each day.
Okay.
So yeah, principals are being kept in the loop on who attended what.
Okay, so we don't need a copy or anything then?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, thanks.
And if you had opened it prior to right now, if you could close it and open it one more time, the multiple choice options for the day are correctly set now. So if you at the bottom still see, beginning with block C, then just reload the page and it should be the correct choice today, which right now is PD on your own time with Cavern Crusade. All right, I'm going to share the link one more time, and we will get started. All right, so welcome everybody. We are going to be talking this morning about doing PD on your own time with Cavern Crusade. And good news about this session is that the same question that just came up of will our principals, basically who's going to be made aware of this so that we can keep track of our PD. Principals will be getting a copy of anything done on the Cavern Crusade as well. So if you're spending time on Wednesdays working on professional development through the Cavern Crusade, then your principals will be made aware of it so that you can keep track of that time so that they know what you're doing. So if you choose not to attend, or if they give you the option to not attend a specific training, you can still get training done, and it would be training done on items that you feel like you need more than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and share out. We had made a video on what is actually, before I do that, let's go over the agenda. All right, so today's agenda is we're going to talk about just what is the Cavern Crusade, and that's where that video is going to come into play. I'm going to show you how to access and play the Cavern Crusade, and we're going to talk about earning points in the Cavern Crusade and what you can do with those points in the Cave Store. We're going to go over the opening tasks, but I want to give you guys as much time this morning to actually get in there and start exploring and start playing around with what's available. So let me share this tab, and I'm going to start it and stop it. Actually, the only person with the video on, Judy, whenever I start playing this, if you can hear it, if you could give me a thumbs up so that way I know. All right.
Remember this? In 1972, this was the crown jewel of the video gaming world. The game was Pong, and is still known today as being one of the most iconic games of all time. Many people today have the same memory of this game being the first that they ever tried. Well, gaming has come a long way from simply following a handful of pixels around the screen from left to right and back again. And despite what you might think of today's video games, you have to agree that they are more realistic, more adventurous, and more popular than ever before. But video gaming is just one aspect of playing games. Humans have played games since the dawn of time, and more studies are showing that when people learn through gaming, they do so at a higher rate with longer lasting effects. So if gaming is good for learning, isn't it time to gamify professional development? Well, meet the Cavern Crusade. The Cavern Crusade is a personalized blended learning game that is online, self-paced, and created just for you. It's a game that you can play anywhere, anytime, from any device. You choose the activities that you're interested in, and most can be completed in just a few minutes. You will learn as you play and complete missions to level up. The game is based on the theme of the local Carlsbad Caverns, which will guide you from getting started at the entrance to getting the basics from the Hall of Giants. From there, you will tune up in the Temple of the Sun, advance to the Totem Pole, and celebrate your achievements in EdTech at the Rock of Ages. Along your journey, you will acquire many things. First are badges. Badges will not only be a visual reminder of the many locations you visited in the cave, but it will also represent a significant advancement in your own learning as an educator in a 21st century classroom. In addition to badges, you will also be earning points. Lots of them. Points are tracked, and you can even engage in some friendly competition with your peers vying for top spots on the leaderboard. Those points aren't just for bragging rights though, because with them you can stop into the points portal and exchange some for some cool technologies in your classroom. So if you're ready to energize your teaching with valuable professional learning that will support you in providing the technology-rich, innovative learning environment that is needed, and to have a good time doing it, stop by the Cavern Crusade today.
All right, so it's starting over. All right, so today we're going to actually take a look at that. Now, I should maybe have started off with this. A few things have changed since we made that video. We rebuilt the Cavern Crusade really from the ground up in a lot of the ways that it did function to the way that it functions today. And most of those changes were just to make it a little bit, not even a little bit, a lot of bit easier to navigate and to get around on. And so I'm going to go ahead and show, I'm going to share my entire screen because I always forget to share the right thing as we start moving through. If you have not signed in, I'm going to go ahead and share it one more time into the chat, but I'm going to go to bit.ly/Cavern Crusade. And this is kind of like our launch page for what the game is. And right here at the bottom, it says log in today and explore the creative caverns of Carlsbad. But before we do that, I'm going to look at the player guide. And right over here, you can see you have the homepage, the gear, the guide, and the store. So I'm just going to go to the guide, and it does show us how to get started on here. So if you were showing someone else how to get going, and want to kind of have that friendly competition, like the video mentioned, this would be a good place to get them going, so that maybe they don't want to watch the entire video that we have that I'm going to be posting later. But whenever you are ready, let's see if there's a link at the bottom. No. Whenever you are ready, we're going to click login today and explore the creative caverns of Carlsbad. And I'm actually.
Steven, we don't see your screen.
Did I still not share it correctly? Oh my goodness. It's one of those mornings, man. It seems to be always one of those mornings with me though. So I'm going to go to it one more time. Here's our launch page website, and at the bottom of this, here is the login page for the Crusade. But at the top, you can see the player guide, and the player guide is going to show you kind of the steps to get started. But that's what I'm going to be showing you this morning. So this is really just for anyone that didn't attend, I guess. All right. So I am gonna, whenever you're ready, you would click on the link at the bottom, and I am going to go ahead and go to that page, bit.ly/Cavern Crusade, on a new teachers page, so that they can see what it looks like the very, very first time that they get in there. whenever they first log in, it's the Cavern Crusade is built on a platform called Ludo. And so whenever they first get in there, they're going to click sign in with Google and pick their CMS username. So I am, it's because it's a brand new account, I have to complete the account setup, and it's just going to ask you some basic information. Your first name, this is Crusade Teacher at carlsbadschools.net. That's going to ask which school you are located at. So I think I picked Monterey for this school, or for this teacher. You can make an avatar and just put a picture of yourself on there if you would like. You can connect Twitter if you have Twitter, and you can see where your profile will be shown. We just recommend keeping it at the Carlsbad Municipal Schools level. You can get notifications, and you can turn some of these off and turn some of these on as you go through them if you'd like. I'm just going to leave everything as normal, and I'm going to click update. And whenever I've done that, it's going to launch me into the game itself. And so the game is, you're going to get points for the different activities that you finish, and the different professional development activities that you finish, and you're going to get points awarded to you. And this is the leaderboard of those points. Now, this doesn't necessarily matter one way or the other. If you get a lot of points, if you don't get a lot of points, if you this is just some friendly competition. But up at the top left, I'm going to click on the My Game button. And this is where we're going to see all of the activities that are available to you. So I'm going to kind of show you the structure of the way that the game is set up. This is quite a bit different than the way that it was set up before. So what we've done is we've broken it down into these 6 different sessions, foundational skills as well as webinars. And so like this webinar that we have is going to be posted on the Cavern Crusade so that people can watch it and get credit for watching it after it's already run. There's a section that's completely geared towards the G Suite, all the Google tools, Calendar and Gmail and Classroom and so forth. The different teaching tools that go along with, a lot of times with Google, but are not part of Google. And actually, I'll show off everything here in a minute. Then we have more broad-based levels that cover things like digital citizenship, pedagogy, and professional learning network, and how to reach out to others on a digital platform, I guess. So I'm going to click the down arrow here and just kind of show off a few of these things. We have the first section is how to actually play the game itself. So the Cavern Crusade Foundations, this is how you're going to actually play. This is the computer foundations. This is like basic learning of the devices that have been given to you. So Chromebooks, if you are in, at Hillcrest, there's some things on iPads. If you have a smartboard, there's things on smartboards. We don't have anything put up here yet on Promethean boards, but we will be adding those. We also have some things over Windows 10, and then just some general QR codes. And then in this opening section, we also have some synergy things. So if you are brand new to the district and need to learn how to take attendance or do assignments or a grade book, here's where you would go for that. And finally, we do have, as I said, the webinars, and they're broken down by the date. So you can see the date on each one of them, and we'll just keep adding to this section as the year continues. As I said, we have all things Google. So we have learning how to use Calendar and Classroom and Docs and Drives and Forms and everything that you can imagine. So if you've had a lot of questions or you're just not sure how to do any of these items, then here's where you would come to learn them. We also have the different teaching tools. Blocksy is very short right now, but we will be adding to that. That's one of the very first things we'll be adding to. Then we have just different extensions. And again, these are kind of basic right now in what we have to talk about, but we'll be adding to this every single day. We have a bunch of things over Flipgrid. If you're interested in Flipgrid, we have a bunch of things about Kami. We have a lot of things about Pear Deck, and then as well as just general various other programs, Illuminate, Zern, Kahoot, class dojo, stuff like that. And then, as I said, the digital citizenship this is just one tab. It's not broken down into any pieces. It's just digital citizenship, pedagogy, as well as the professional learning network. So before I go too far, I want to make sure I want to give maybe a couple minutes to make sure that everyone can get logged in to the Cavern Crusade. So if you, let me get over to our Meet. It's one of these tabs here. Okay, so am I even, can you guys hear me still?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just
You're welcome.
making sure. So let me find the Meet that I'm on here. There we go. Okay, so if you guys could go ahead and get on to the Cavern Crusade, just so we know that you have been able to make it on there. I'm going to go ahead and put into the chat the link. And when you get that link, then you'll click on the bottom button on that homepage of logging in. And I did see a couple additional people come into the Meet. So if you haven't done so, please make sure that you sign in. And I'll give you guys like 3 minutes to get in there. We'll at 8:50 we'll start. I'll kind of go into the actual activities. And if you're having an issue, let me know into the chat, or you can unmute yourself and let me know what problem you're having. For those of you who have switched schools, I'm going to go back in over here. For those of you who have switched schools, let's say if you're no longer at Monterey, I believe to update your profile, you click on your picture or the letter of your name on the top right of the page and click profile, and you should be able to edit it and change whatever school that you are now at. So I moved everyone from, if you were at JSS or at Craft, I moved you to Cottonwood, but not every teacher moved from JSS or Craft to Cottonwood. So you might have to adjust, or just if you've moved schools in the last couple years that we've been doing the Crusade. If you logged in that first year and haven't logged in since, you should be able to update that profile. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one more time. And unless someone has a question that or is having a hard time getting logged in, we'll go ahead and go back into the Crusade. So again, whenever you go to the Crusade, whenever you go to bit.ly/Cavern Crusade, at the very bottom, you're going to click the login button. But once you get inside of there, you are going to see this. And I'm going to go ahead and click on my game one more time. So the very first tasks that I would recommend doing are in this foundational skills in the Cavern Crusade foundations. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on this one right here. And this is the way that the activities are going to be presented to you. It's going to have a title at the top. There's going to be a share button that you can share out to others if you want. It's going to give you an estimated time to complete. But a lot of times this time is probably too high. And then for some, if it's a really especially the later you get inside of some of the tasks, it might be a little bit low if you work a little bit more slowly on things on the computer. But we tried to give you just an average time of what it might take. But what it's going to do is it's going to tell you about the learning activity, but about what you're doing. And on this one, this is not professional developmentally related, so it's just going to be a general. It's going to tell you what to do. And then you're going to have to provide evidence along the way. So in this one, you're going to describe in the record achievement section a minimum of 3 topics that you are most interested in learning about the Crusade. And then we're going to provide you with some resources. There's 9 times out of 10 going to be a video attached from either someone at the digital learning team or someone in the district. Sometimes there's going to be videos of what we've done, but almost or just videos that we have kind of checked on and vetted ourselves to make sure that they go with the learning activity. But almost always there's going to be a video that you can watch. But it's going to give you the option to record your achievement below. So it asked for 3 things that I'm excited to learn about. So let's say I'm excited to learn about Gmail, Pear Deck, and Flipgrid. Those are 3 things that I'm excited to learn about. I'm going to click record achievement. And it is sent to us. And so now you can see that there is a clock, basically just letting you know that this is waiting on approval. And on our side of things, I'll get to that here in 1 second, actually. So, but you know that you haven't gotten the points yet, so you can see that I have 0 points over here. But whenever this task is approved, it's going to get 15 points. Now I'm going to go down into let's see, teaching tools, and let's say Flipgrid's attach work to your Flipgrid video. So this activity, if you're not familiar with Flipgrid, that's fine. We're actually going to be doing a Flipgrid topic in the next few weeks here on our Wednesday sessions. But here's the learning activity. It's going to tell you what it is and how to do it. And here's the resources that are attached. But with this one,
Steven,
yes.
sorry, are you showing your screen? Because I'm not seeing it again.
I am. Can anyone see my screen?
Okay, for some reason, I'm not seeing it.
I see it.
You see it? Let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing it and then share it again and see if that clears it up for you. And while I come back over here, I like doing this each time. If you have not signed into today's meet, please do that. All right, so let me present one more time and see if that helps.
That did. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so so this one's worth 25 points. It's about 15 minutes of work. For this activity, watch the video in the resources section, and when you're done, add 2 to 3 topic attachments to the Flipgrid lesson and take a screenshot of them. So you're going to have to prove the professional development that you are doing. So it's not just about writing and watching something and then giving us feedback. You're going to actually have to do these things. And so I'm not going to do this one right now since I don't even have Flipgrid open and ready to go. But I am going to show you on our end of things. This is what we see. So I'm going to reload this page, and sure enough, we have Welcome to the Cavern Crusade. This is the one that I sent over just a few minutes ago, and it tells me Crusade teacher did this. So it tells me what teacher and when they did it. And here's the criteria. I was supposed to list 3 topics that you're interested in. And here's the evidence. They listed Gmail, Pear Deck, and Flipgrid. So I am going to approve this message. And when I go back into the teacher side, click on my game, I now have 15 points, and there is a check mark next to this assignment. If I go over into what I think is the most important mission or activity is taking a screenshot. And the reason I think this is most important because a lot of these activities require you to take a screenshot. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. If you can do this, then you can play the game. All right, so it's going to say take a screenshot on your computer. It's going to tell you there's about 15 minutes, although if you already know how to do this, then it's going to take you about 2 minutes. So here's the learning activity. It's going to tell you, what screenshots are, and it's going to ask you to take a screenshot of the game board. The evidence that you have to provide is to upload a file, or you can paste a link. So it's giving you an option here. And then the resources give you a video on how to do it if you're on an iPad, how to do it if you're on a Chromebook, how to do it if you're on an Apple device, and 2 options on how to do it if you are on a Windows PC or a laptop. So let's say I did this and say I know how to take a screenshot. Okay, this is not following the directions, right? So I'm going to click Record Achievement. So it's going to tell me that it is still waiting on me to grade it. So I'm going to go back into the grading side of things just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And so here it is. I know how to take a screenshot. Well, that's not good enough. So I'm going to say that please upload the screenshot of the player game board. So I'm going to give some feedback on that and say that that's what needs to happen. So I'm going to click pause instead of approve. So what does that look like as a on your end of things? It's going to put a pause button next to that. That means that you did not get approved, but if you click on it, it's going to give you the reasons why it wasn't approved. So there's a comment now added at the bottom that says, I'm sorry, but we cannot approve your achievement due to the following reasons. Please upload your screenshot of the player board. So it's going to, so there is an opportunity for you to also comment back. And so it's not just a one-way communication tool. It's not just us saying, here are the things that you can learn, and here's what we think you need to do. If you are having struggles with it, you can ask questions and we will get those responses. If you aren't, if you did something and you weren't sure, that's okay. Just go ahead and submit it, because we're going to take a look at it and let you know whether or not it was up to what the topic suggested. So it's going to give you, an opportunity to actually have some dialogue with us. So you don't have to open up a brand new email and say, I'm not sure how to do this, and what did I do? You can put a comment directly inside of the Cavern Crusade, and we'll get it. So I was supposed to create a screenshot, and so to do that, I'm going to, since I'm on a computer, I'm going to use the Windows snipping tool. I love the Windows snipping tool. I'm going to click New Screenshot, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this right here. I'm going to save it as screenshot onto my desktop. And now I can upload that screenshot. My desktop screenshot, I'm going to open that. So now here's my screenshot. There's a check mark knowing that I have pasted it in, or it is now uploaded. And so I'm going to, here's the screenshot, and update and resubmit. And so now, because I've submitted again, you can see the clock of what it's doing. If I go back into my game board, you can see that it's been resubmitted. And on my end of things, on the grading end of things, then I can, oops, clicked on the wrong button there, sorry. Now I can see that screenshot. So on the grading side, it's actually pretty simple on how we do things. So here's a screenshot. They provided that screenshot, so now I'm going to approve it. And so going back over here, you went from 15 points, or this teacher went from 15 points, now they have 40 points. So so that's how that's how we're going to have dialogue. That's how we're going to have a two-way communication inside of the game. How we get started and doing the first set of activities. So what can you do though? So you're getting these points. What can you do with these points? Up at the top, in addition to the My Game and the dashboard, which is really, instead of dashboard, it should probably say, leaderboard. But I'm going to click on the store here. And the store is going to give you all of the options of items that you can purchase directly from us, and how many points it costs. So I have 40 points right now, which isn't enough to purchase anything. But we have some books that are on for 600 points. All the way up to this is a drone for 10,000 points. We have a recorder for 15,000 points. And you think, man, that's a lot of points. And it is. And it does take a lot of time to get there. But we do have, and let me see if I can go back to the leaderboard if it shows our all-time leaders. Weekly performers. Here we go. Top players. Diana Fesmeyer at 7,870 points. So she has been the most active, and there's plenty of things obviously that you can purchase with that 7,000 points, and there's things that she purchased, although I think she left our district. She retired over the past year, and which is just goes to show it's never too late. She knew she was in her last year of teaching, and she was still trying to learn more about all this technology side of things. So, but she earned 7,000 points, and again, some of the store items are, 2,700 points for this throwable microphone. But these aren't the only items. We have a second page here of some digital cameras, some 3D printers, some speakers, stereos. A phone stand for 450 points. So there's quite a few things that you can purchase with the points that you are earning inside of the game. Okay, are there any questions about anything as far as what the game is, or anything like that I can answer? Sorry, let me get back to the meat here. Are there any questions over what it is? Are you snipping tool with a Chromebook? I am not. This is a PC. So I was using that. But again, there is a video inside of that original task on how to take a screenshot with a Chromebook.
Stephen?
Yes.
If you've taken some of these courses that are in here, and you haven't been back in a while, and you want to do a refresher, you can just go in and do it, but you do not get any additional credit for it or anything? Correct.
Yeah. You can go in and recheck out the things. I don't think you can actually even submit once you've already done it. I'm gonna make sure. So if I do screenshot, you can go in and see the activity one more time. You can actually make comments still after you've done it, but you can see the work that you've done. It should keep a running list of all the things that have happened on that task. And so, but the videos will still be there, and you'll be able to do the activity again without actually clicking submit.
Okay. So there's not a refresher thing then?
There's not a refresher thing other than just doing it without, kind of going through the motion, I guess. But again, it's one of those things that if you would like, you can go ahead and submit something else again, and just put a comment and say, hey, I was doing this as a refresher. Is this still how it's done? And we'll be happy to give you feedback.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And so it is 9:04, and I wanted to give you guys some time this morning to explore the cave. So we usually have you for usually try to limit myself to about an hour. So for the 30 minutes that I have scheduled, I want you to spend the time, go ahead and go into the Cavern Crusade and go ahead and complete some tasks. Again, the very first ones that I would recommend are just kind of learning the game itself. Those, let me go back over to it. The foundational skills and webinars, this Cavern Crusade Foundations, and really just doing the first like 3 or 4 tasks here just to kind of get the flow of the way that it works. I'll be here with my achievement page open, ready to grade. I'll keep it hidden so I'm not grading in front of everyone. But now's the time to kind of get in there and start playing around and getting any questions answered. So is there any questions I can answer now before I have you guys get started, though?
Stephen, when you go shopping in the store, do they take your points away, or do you just get to keep accumulating those and then you get to 15,000 eventually?
So it is a purchase. So you're going to be spending the points as you buy those items. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And if there's there is also a task, I believe, somewhere, and I'd have to look for it and make sure that it's still in there. If there's if you've accumulated quite a few points and you still, but there's nothing in the store that's really calling your name, there's a way to suggest an item for purchase, and it might be in the store itself. I'm going to have to kind of take a look at that and make sure, but you can request an item to be purchased, and we can look through our vendors and see if that's something that that is available to us, and we'll put a point total towards it based on all the points are based on how much time is spent and so forth. So we have a little formula that we run it through, and we can attach some points to it and let you know, yes, we can get it, and here's how many points it would be, and we can add it to our store.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to be here. If you want to, you can either stay in the meet and get started on the Cavern Crusade and just kind of mess around with it, or you can go ahead and take off. And again, any message that you send in the Crusade, I'm going to be able to get later. So I'll go ahead and stop talking and let you guys work. But again, feel free to ask any questions as they come up. And if you came in late, don't forget to sign in to today's meet.